Welcome to Point Blank. This is your host, Panama Crypto. Today our guest is Nick Core, or better known as Crypto Core. He's an amazing crypto trader, also self-proclaimed technical analyst, whiz, and educator. He custom makes edge providing indicators and is a shitposting apprentice. Welcome, Nick. Good to have you in Point Blank.
Thanks for having me. Shitposting apprentice. I haven't heard that one yet. Actually, yeah, 100% true with you. Now that I have to check every meme before I tweet it, see if you have.
So, Nick, can you shed some light on who Nick Core is? What are your hobbies? What is your in real life experience?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm in my early to mid 30s. Been trading all my life, adult life, not full time. There were some times in my life where I was doing other things, but still trading. For the most part, trading has supported me in my living though. 2012, 2013 is around when I got into crypto. I say those 2 years, because 2012 is when I actually got Bitcoin. 2013 is when I started trading crypto, or Bitcoin, I should say. Nowadays, my hobbies, I guess I didn't have much hobbies back then. But nowadays, my hobbies are this. I'm obsessed with automated trading, machine learning, and crypto, and this market. But besides that, there's not a lot to do with COVID going on. So it's either this, go to the beach, Call of Duty, or women, when they're around. But that's it for right now. Not a lot of hobbies we can do at the moment.
Well, you're already used to COVID lockdown. Like, we guys spend all fucking day in front of the computer, so that's not much change.
Yeah. For the most part, I mean, the only thing that's changed is, I get up, do my daily thing. In the evening, like when things calm down, I go out to dinner. I guess that's really the only day-to-day thing that's changed. Because, sit here all day and trade and whatnot, so.
So where do you spend all your crypto and fiat aside girls, cars, and drugs?
No drugs, actually.
Alcohol.
Yeah, believe it or not, I haven't had a drink of alcohol in like months. Pretty square when it comes to that, but I do like to drink when it's with people. Just there's nothing going on again, so I don't drink at home like by myself or anything. But once I start hanging around people again, I guess start with that. But I really don't spend a lot right now. As boring as this may sound, any personal income I have is going into a company I'm building, and so like I've actually gotten pretty serious about it, and my life in general and spending money. Cars no more. I used to love buying cars all the time here in the USA, but I'm leaving the US in the next couple of months, so no cars, nothing exciting like that. So just kind of saving, waiting for this bull market to kick off before we start spending money.
Wait, aren't you based in LA?
Yeah.
How do you move around without a car?
Rental car at the moment. Like I'm very close to leaving within the next 30 days or so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I just got a long-term rental, I guess, for like a month.
Cool.
You could say. Yeah.
That's
nothing exciting. But yeah, I don't really spend any money right now. It's the beginning of a bull. Last bull was great. Late 2017, 2018. I spent it for sure, and I plan on getting there again. Just right now, it's build time and focus up time. It's that time of the year when everything's getting ready to take off.
So how shit is going on there with COVID and Black Lives Matters movement in LA?
Yeah, as I mentioned a moment ago, I'm ready to leave the US, right? Well, LA has changed drastically, like the last year. LA used to be so much better, but between COVID and the protests, it's a shithole here now. And I'm not saying directly BLM is the reason, but the protests, action reaction, right? The protests have led to looting of local businesses and things like that, just making the town even more unstable. And there's not much of an economy here. Most cities have, some kind of if you go to parts of LA, for instance, there is no businesses open for blocks and blocks and blocks. Part of it's COVID. A lot of them couldn't survive through the first month of COVID. Some are still waiting to open up. We had like 1 week where we opened up and then instantly we went back on lockdown a couple weeks ago. And then to top it all off, when we were getting a lot of protests here in LA and riots, we haven't recently. Seems everybody's just kind of leaving that to the other cities. But when that was happening, there was towns in like Van Nuys is a town in LA. That's not even near downtown, but the protests got moved up there, and I probably watched 20 businesses get looted throughout that town just driving around. Cops are scrambling. You know, Van Nuys is a pretty calm Armenian, Latin, you know, it's very mixed and there's not a lot of bullshit that goes on in there. But during that time, when the protests were going on, we had a lot of people coming from like South LA up there to destroy the town. So LA as a whole, it's just different. If anybody's ever been here, it's so different. The homeless population has exploded. It doesn't matter if you go to Beverly Hills, there's homeless on the corner there. It doesn't matter where you go now. It's just, the town is, if I offend anybody by this, I'm sorry. That's just my views. But the town is socialism at its finest right now. This is what the slow creeping of socialism will do to the rest of the towns. A lot of it's perpetuated by the drug use down here. Drugs are a huge problem in LA, and there's a lot of addicts, and that's kind of what feeds the homeless population and makes the town kind of seem so shitty. So yeah, long answer on the LA and how it's going with COVID and BLM, but it's not pretty down here. It's not nice anymore. It's going to take a long time for LA to recover. And in general, I'm just done with it. I'm ready for a beach somewhere, you know, in the Caribbean or the Pacific or something like that.
There's a lot of places in Central America and Caribbean that you can hit up.
Yeah.
No taxation in Panama.
So Panama's got one of the best offshore structures I've ever seen, to be honest, with private interest foundation, which can then own assets like corporations and bank accounts. Like if you're a U.S. citizen, Panama's little setup with a private interest foundation has been proven time and time in the courts that you're not legally liable for taxes there. So not saying anything that you should not pay taxes in the U.S., but that setup has been proven in the USA courts. So there's that.
Exactly. And you have like beaches on the Caribbean, on the Pacific side, like 1 hour from the capital. So
yeah,
it's a win-win.
Yeah, I would love to go down to Central America and just kind of, or South America even, and just disappear for a while. Costa Rica's on the list, probably this December. A couple of buddies of mine, my friend, Cordy, I don't know if you know him from Coin Bros, but he's got a future down there, so I'm going to go meet up with him here soon.
Costa Rica is real nice.
Yeah.
The tourism in Costa Rica is way more developed than in Panama. Like Panama looks upon Costa Rica to get to that level in tourism. So Nick, what are your current projects are you working on?
We've been running some algorithms for a little while. When I say we, I mean my partner, Aaron, that we designed. And we finally got them into working products. In other words, they work efficiently in all markets. We've proven them through trending markets, through chop markets, through corrective markets, so on and so forth, several different styles of algorithms. So, you know, as we've been in build mode and nerding out on that, we have finally decided the last couple of months to pull the trigger on something much bigger and put these algos to use, because there's really nobody that can touch us. You don't see me tweeting a lot of that stuff. There's a reason for it, because I'm just kind of in the background right now building something what I feel is big, and it's going to really definitely pivot like my life for the next 20 years. Kind of give me that independent sovereignty that I need with everything. But yeah, we're getting ready to launch an entity, we'll say, in the next 30 days. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of traders on crypto right now offering like paid groups, and I'm sure a lot of people can get, you know, value from paid groups. But some of these people that join are accredited investors, or some of these people that get scammed. I don't know. I think there's a demand out there for legitimate, I want to say fund management, but that's what it is in the space. You know, somebody that's not just using a 10 and 20 moving average. You know, let's get some exciting trading going on, high frequency trading. Yeah, So kind of speaking around the edges there, but very excited for it. Stick around for that, but lots of regulation, and that's kind of what's taking the time, set up and all that.
That sounds exciting for you, man. Congratulations. 30 days is like no time at all.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, it's just time against us now. We have a great team around us. It's just time. We're going through all the little steps it takes. So 30, 60 days, somewhere around there.
So Nick, what has been your best and worst decision in crypto?
Worst decision ever was to join crypto Twitter. I should have just kept in my privacy long ago. No, crypto Twitter, a lot of stress, but I made some of the best friends on there. So I would actually say it's best and worst decisions, but as you're referencing, probably trading with the best and worst decisions. One of the best decisions I've continually made, especially if you're a manual trader, is to take profit. I know that sounds so cliche, but let me tell you a few examples of why it's very important to not get greedy with crypto. A, we move 24/7. There's always volatility. If you're in a runner and you have profitability, close that out if you don't know where to close it. Just close it out then. Take that profit because the next opportunity will come. If you take a look at like the first time we ever crossed $10,000, from basically anything to the top there did not make sense technically from the technicals, especially the first couple days, first couple hours even. We just blew through any kind of fit extension. When we get really volatile like that, if somebody's trading leverage, which a majority of the market does, and it seems like a majority of the market gets wrecked by the bigger players, you need to be sure, like when you've secured some profits, like secure them, like actually take them, because those volatility, those $1,000 wicks, they come. Those stop hunts are coming. You have unstable exchanges like BitMEX that are really dangerous for a independent small guy, like a regular trader, right? People like BitMEX for liquidity, not for their efficient running exchange, right? There's nothing efficient really running about it. It just works and it has lots of liquidity. So point is, I kind of went off on a BitMEX tangent there, but every exchange has their problems, right? Book that profit. When we start to get into runners going in the future, like when crypto starts to trend really hard, like it trends unbelievably hard. Just don't forget to take a little bit of profit on that. So I guess my best decisions was taking profit, periodically through that last bull top. Didn't snipe the exact top. It's not going to be like that, but I made it out okay, out of my longs on there. And so I would say that's like probably one of the best decisions is, since a lot of things didn't make sense from a manual trader's point of view, manual analysis, taking profits throughout that last bull definitely provided some stability through the correction we had. Worst decisions. Oh man. I have had some trades really blow up. And it wasn't like the trade decision was bad. It was usually like a fat finger or something like that. So I wouldn't say like I'm sure I have, but off the top of my head, I don't think I've ever made I can think of one that I've made a trading decision or a decision in crypto that was just completely wrong, right?
Have you ever had the urge to FOMO?
Yeah, I've FOMO'd. I have. Who hasn't? I have hit that market buy many times. You're a liar if you said you haven't. Like, especially if you've been in for a couple of years. It's just, look how hard we trade. We're not like traditional markets at all. Look how hard, when we take off, we take off. And if you're not in the market, then,
You miss it completely.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen. I've literally looked at some positions I was getting ready to fill and been like, I think we should move that down or move that order up a little bit. And then as soon as I cancel the order, instant wick down to that fill, and then it goes up, and then now I'm trying to buy, 0.3% higher.
At market.
Yeah, on a market buy. And so that's common. Like markets love to watch when you do those things. And I'm not saying there's an individual on the other side watching those, but it's like the market has this own universe, and it just knows when things are just right for you to go bad, for things to go bad, and likes to fuck you on that. That makes sense. It seems like the market has its own brain to where just whenever something isn't supposed to happen, it does.
The market is out to get you.
And the market is never wrong. That's what people should never forget. The market is never wrong.
This episode is brought to you by PrimeXBT, the exchange that makes possible to trade with leverage on legacy markets from a single Bitcoin-based account. Talking about the market, what is your overall market forecast for next year, taking in consideration the elections this year?
Yeah, so I think we're capped
And taking in
out.
consideration that the U.S. economy rules the economy of the world, basically.
Yeah.
Especially countries like Panama.
So I think we're capped out and probably going to retrace back down to 3,000 over the next couple of months. Not really. I'm super bullish on it.
You got me there. I was like,
no, I'm super bullish. And okay, so crypto markets have a lot of outside influences right now. Not influences we used to have. As you mentioned, like the USA economy, there's correlation there. But there is also decorrelation happening at moments. Like, not everything's moving in tandem. Obviously, if there was a general sentiment that, the stock market here was about to tank for COVID or whatever reason, we're going to probably see that reflection in Bitcoin. Like what happened a few months ago was just mass capital flight. It's a psychological phenomenon where everybody wants to be in cash when there is a world event that can destabilize markets. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, equities, doesn't matter. It's just a mass psychological phenomenon where everybody pulls the cash because they don't know what's happening. It happens, periodically throughout history. So that being said, without anything like major like that happening, I'm very, very bullish. I don't see any reason why we can't pass 20,000, or the high, I should say. It was 20,000 on Bitfinex, I believe. The high by the end of this year. I really don't see, other than, some unpredictabilities. This is the bull market, and, take a look at the last bull market. I remember talking about when we were like $700 a Bitcoin, there was some conversations of $10,000 a Bitcoin, and, half of the traders thought that's insane. Half the traders thought, well, anything's possible. And, look what happened. We smashed all the way through that and then some. So I think we're going to approach this high really quick. I feel like the market's at a very, very extreme tipping point right now to where it's not going to take much to really get this to tear off. All these little movements in between, they're just there as distractions, really, as the saying goes. We're a parabolic asset by nature. Look at our history. Bitcoin is. And Bitcoin is literally designed for what's happening right now in the world. So this couldn't be any better for us. Like, people sound very strange to me, we'll say it. You can replace strange with a number of words, but very strange when they're trying to describe why Bitcoin is not bullish overall, right now. Save it. Just intelligence level too low for me to understand. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I think we see some amazing stuff these next couple of years. People, it doesn't even matter. Like, if you have that cousin that's telling you, or that uncle, oh, Bitcoin's gonna crash, or Warren Buffett said this about it, or Donald Trump, did you see the Donnie tweet about Bitcoin? Look, it doesn't matter. If you don't want to convince those guys, don't do it, because they'll come around. Like, the market's going to do what it's going to do. Bitcoin's going to do what it's going to do. They'll all be here, and it'll feel really vindicating once we hit that. So, yeah, super bullish.
And fundamentally speaking, are there any projects you're bullish on?
Okay. So there's a lot of this going on right now, right? A lot of DeFi, all the buzzwords going on right now.
Uniswap, any of those? Got any attendees?
Yeah. So yes. How can you not, right? But when it comes to, I'm not fundamentally bullish on any of that. It's not because I've taken a moment to look at the fundamentals. I'm sure there's some kind of bullishness there, but first of all, my impression of fundamentals in the crypto market it's kind of disgusting. Our markets are very speculative in the future. Like, they're speculating on what these altcoin projects can do a couple years out. And they're trying to value them now, right? Participants are. If they were really valued on like their fundamentals, a lot of these wouldn't even have price discovery because there's not really anything there built. That's fine though. I do not hate on it. There's plenty of altcoin projects that have fundamentals. I'll take positions in anything is my point. If it's on a market and it has volatility and liquidity, then trade it. And so my approach now is not so much to look at fundamentals. I'd like to save that for, I guess, machine learning. It really is the way to approach that. I don't want to try to understand that with my brain, like fundamentals. It just is not me. I feel like I'm going to hit a lot of dead ends trying to value things fundamentally. As we know, I'm a technical trader. I like the technicals. So as far as projects go, I don't even look at fundamentals anymore. If it's, and it's not like I'm holding these bags for a long time. Like, you know, some of the trades are in and out within 15 minutes with the algos. So yeah, my approach is a little bit different to trading nowadays. Don't really care about fundamentals. That's great. Of course, I pick them up as I scroll through Twitter and read a couple articles that catch my eye. Like, what the fuck is tendies when everyone's talking about it? So I had to go look. But generally speaking, me personally, fundamentals just don't compute into my trading plan. I'm almost fully automated now. If I make a manual trade, it's because it's something on like Uniswap. But like, you know, we're trading in and out of assets all day. I say assets as crypto, sorry. In and out of crypto all day. It just depends. Wherever the market's at, wherever the index is at, and what the volatility is. Look for those and those runners.
So right now you mainly trade through your algos and your bots.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through your most popular algo or bot that you use to trade? What is the go-to strategy style for that sort of bot? Like the most popular that you use, or you use like all of them simultaneously?
So we're getting into a little bit of IP here, but I can generally speak on them, I guess. We have a couple designs. We have some algos for the spot markets, which trade. They're very stable algos and they're acceptable, you know, to like most US regulation, things like that. It's the perpetuals that are not leverage. And then we have leverage algos, which are a lot of it's volume based. As we know, we all love volume. I love volume. But there's a lot more going into that. So, and then we go to altcoins. We have a whole nother design for altcoins because altcoins have a certain structure that most algos don't do well on. Those other two that I just mentioned, they don't do really well in altcoins because altcoins will remain flat for a very, very long time. And if you have an algo trying to ping pong orders off of a small range, like for an extended period of times, you're going to get chopped up and eaten. So we have a different approach to altcoins because they trend so hard when they break out, right? Be completely flat, you know, as we've seen last year, we have gigantic corrections and then we just kind of flattened, maybe dropped down, flattened, you know, up, flattened. That's really hard for a traditional algo to trade. So we kind of approached it with a different set of rules. And those include everything from price action structure to fib levels to, you know, some inputs from some of the indicators like momentum, stochastic, things like that. There's a lot of verification going on there. And same with the indexes, like FTX.com has a lot of indexes that give us, you know, can give people a lot of exposure to altcoins. If they don't want to necessarily take in, you know, actual altcoins, they can write these indexes, shit, mid, and alt. And those actually trade differently too. It's not a one size fits all for most strategies, but like our strategies will find one to fit on there.
You stopped doing manual trading because you have all your bots trading for you. When do you stop doing manual trading?
Oh, I've kind of eased out of it, I guess, the last year. We started, you know, onboarding more bots, more algos. Also, bots, man, I feel like so many people have bots out there that they call algos. No disrespect to any of you guys. A lot of you are my friends that do. But like, just keep your bot as an indicator and not an algo, man. Like, Go hook up some fees on some back testing and see how that, like a lot of people's bots out there are great indicators, right? Great indicators, but they're not like algorithmic design for trading. So hopefully people start to understand that. But the last year is kind of just phased into automation. Makes a lot more sense. It can trade when I'm asleep. It's basically, just our brains from our team, my brain, faster, better, less emotional, quicker.
In any way, much better than human trading.
100%. I am all for taking the human brain out of things, not just trading, and replacing it with a faster, more efficient brain that thinks just like us. So an algorithm or, AI even.
So Nick, what do you think about decentralized exchanges? Do you think it's gonna pick up the piece of the pie from centralized exchange? Seeing that Serum today launched it was listed today in Binance, FTX, BitMEX, and all the big guys.
Yeah, most definitely. Without a doubt, follow the money. And right now that's where the money's going. You have people like Sam building things left and right. 100%. It's going to be interesting. There's always going to be a need for and demand for centralized exchanges in yours and mine's lifetime, maybe in the future, but in the foreseeable future, there's always going to be some demand for that. But decentralized are, definitely the future at the moment.
So going to the last gay question, you got many bromances in CT. Who's your number one hombre?
Yeah, we should all know by now. It's Joshua McGruff. We work on a daily basis together. You guys don't see a lot of it, but I guess don't see any of it. But we're on Zoom calls, a few hours a day working on stuff. Love that guy. Love him and his family, his wife, his kids. Awesome people. So I'd say that's the bromance right there. Among others, I got a lot that I cheat on, through crypto Twitter, but other than that, I've got my favorites. You're one of my favorites. Charles the ETH. Yes, I called him Charles the ETH. Is one of my favorites. I got a whole bunch of buddies on there that I just absolutely love from crypto Twitter. Wouldn't leave Bagsy, Broski, goes on and on. Carl Wickman, Acadian, big shout out to that guy. Love that guy. Hung out with him recently at his house.
That's the beauty of crypto Twitter. Like, you get to meet so much people, like cool people, intelligent.
Yeah.
And part of the thing that I love about crypto, aside from the volatility and that Bitcoin brought me financial freedom, is the capability to make so much friends and network and learn so much in the space. Like, it's absurd. There's no other industry that you can learn the things you learn here and network with the people you network with. Yeah.
For your listeners that have never traded anything but crypto, this is such a unique industry, like truly. Not only do we have like so much data at our hands to learn from and to be in tune with, so it's really easy to make money, but also we have a community that you can like make friends with. And it's probably because, the industry is a little immature. Like people hasn't really built into, it's more of like a, little brothership in certain areas. You have, you're all coiners or whatever, if you get my point. But like networking and friends here, I wouldn't trade any of it for the last couple of years. The friends that I've made and relationships along the way, 100%.
And with that, we end our episode. I'm really grateful to Nick for coming along on Point Blank. Thanks for coming on, man. Can you tell us where we can find you?
Twitter.com/crypto_core for now. There's Twitch and YouTube too, but Twitter.com/Nick or crypto_core.
And your website?
thetradingwizard.com.
Thanks for listening. Until next time. Peace. This episode was brought to you by PrimeXVT, the exchange where you can trade without KYC on legacy markets with your Bitcoin. You can trade commodities like gold, silver, oil, even indexes and forex. Join now and get a 50% bonus on top of your deposit for trading at u.primexbt.com/Panama.